The next topic, which is a master slave layout or master slave configuration. So what is the purpose of a master and slave? Okay, so in digital circuits, this combination or this master slave logic combination is something like if there are multiple inputs and multiple outputs, or if the sequence has to be executed by one controller. Okay, you have a master controller where the input is fed to 10 slave controllers, okay, or 10 slave circuits. So whatever the master circuit gives as a command, or whatever the digital logic does, master executes, the slaves will generally follow the same thing. Okay, this is more required whenever you want to dump a bulk of data. Same bits has to be repeatedly dumped onto the same memory location. We choose master and slave configuration. Okay, so master and slave configuration can be executed pretty much like with any flip-flop, but pulse triggering method is also matters, because if the pulse triggering is not properly done, we have already studied what is the pulse triggering. Pulse triggering is nothing but your clocking. So whenever you are triggering this whole flip-flop, that means you are exciting the input along with this clock pulse. This clock pulse is whenever it is going either to positive or negative, any one mode is considered for triggering. Okay, right. So the triggering method is master slave is can be executed only with a pulse triggered flip-flop. That means if whichever flip-flop you take, it should be a properly pulse triggered flip-flop. In that case only this master slave configuration can be executed. So master slave configurations are there are a lot of master slave configurations. As an example, in the world, you take in the pilot cockpit, you have a master pilot and you have a co-pilot. Whatever the rudders that you control or whatever the flight controls you do, more or less it will be repeatedly executed in the same fashion with the same angle on the co-pilot side, because co-pilot may not be fully trained in order to control the whole flight, right? So this is one example for master slave, right? And so there are two categories of flip-flops. One is master slave flip-flop. Okay, these are pulse triggered flip-flops, and the next one is an edge triggered flip-flop. Okay, so edge triggered flip-flop and all is something like your positive edge or negative edge, but with a pulse, if it executes, or if it executes based on only a pulse, whether it is a positive or negative, that doesn't matter, it requires a pulse. Okay, that is called as a master slave configuration. So latches have immediate output response, which is known for its transparency, right? But in case of flip-flops, this can be avoided. Okay, new state information has to be entered. That means, so it is necessary to sense the current state of a flip-flop while allowing the new state information to be entered. Okay, so let us coming to this master slave flip-flop. We have two sections, each capable of storing one bit of binary digit or binary symbol. Okay, so first section is referred as the master and the second is referred as the slave, right? Information that is entered into the master on one edge or level of a control signal, generally this control signal is your clock, okay, is transferred to the slave on the next triggering. Okay, that means when one pulse is given as an input, okay, in the next second pulse, this is called a storage mode. Okay, second pulse will transfer this data to the slave transfer, right? So if you continuously give, the number of slaves, if they are connected, the more will be the information that is passed, right? Each section is a latch basically. Okay, so let us consider this one as a master slave configuration. This is an SR latch, okay, set reset latch, where set bit and reset bit are connected to the respective bits and clock is connected to the clock, where the clock here is connected to an bubbled NOT gate. That means whenever the clock is enabled high here, that means this will not receive the clock, or this will receive a negative pulse. Okay, so which doesn't enable the circuit to work, right? So that means whenever you are providing a clock here the clock will be exactly negated. That means it will create either a low signal or it will create a negative pulse, right? Negative pulse. So in that case, this is not capable of receiving QM and QM bar, which are the outputs of the previous thing. Okay, the previous thing, right? So this is a big problem. So whenever you are not providing clock, even though if it receives the signal from the SR latch or any other latches, it is not capable of executing them. Okay, so that's a big problem. So this can be avoided by a synchronous clocking. Okay, but synchronous clocking will disable the master slave configuration function. That means everybody will work on the same pace or same fashion. Okay, so in such cases you can if master slave is not required, you want everything to be done on a sequential fashion, in that case you can skip this NOT gate. That will become a normal mode. That means everybody will get a inputs in a simultaneous fashion. That means one after the other, sequential logic, just like your sequential logic, right? So the first one, as I said, it's called as master. It will process its QM and QM dash. Then those two things will be given to another slave, which will process the output, will be provided to the next slot, which is Q and Q dash. If you connect one more thing, this will become master. Okay, this will become slave, and so on. Okay, so this is a simple master and slave. In certain cases you require a parallel configuration also, just like this. Okay, so you require an SR flip flop here. So the clock is given in the sequential mode. That means one input, all the slaves will work in the simple fashion, right? This is called as sequential logic type of master slave. But in this case we got a very simple master and slave. So look at this. We have when C is equal to 0. Okay, when C is equal to 0, master is disabled. Any changes to SR is ignored. Any changes to SR is directly ignored. Slave is enabled in this time state, in the same time same state as the master, right? Whenever C is equal to 1, slave is disabled, retains the state of master. Master will respond to input. Changes in the state of master are not reflected in the disabled slave. Whenever C is equal to 1, okay, it will cut off slave. Master only will act. Whenever C is equal to 0, it will enable slave. Master will be disabled, right? So and so on. Okay, so the time period where master and slave is disabled is something phenomenal, right? So you can check this timing diagram. Okay, so at a time t1 slave is enabled. Okay, at time t1 slave is enabled. From this time the master will get disabled, right? Master will get disabled. At the same time when slave is enabled, master will get disabled, and so on. Okay, so set and reset will require one clock pulse. Set and reset will require one clock pulse. In 0 0 state it is Q and Q complement. In whenever set is 0, okay, Q is 0, Q dash is 1. Whenever set is 1, Q is 1, Q dash is 0. 1 1 is an undefined state. Both the set and reset, whenever you are giving 1 1, it's an undefined state. Okay, undefined state. So the same logic, just like your master slave flip flop or a master slave latch will work, the same way this thing of flip flop also will work. Okay, so here instead of a latched circuit, we are using a flip flop, which is S and R, or set and reset, which we have studied in the previous class. Okay. this pulse symbol here, which indicates when C is equal to 1. Okay, when C is equal to 1, that means whenever master is only high, the whole circuit is shown. But when slave is 1, the pulsation would be in this fashion, negative pulse. Okay, negative pulse. So this is all about a master slave flip flop. Any doubts?